This is Sydney Omarr, and this is about you, Capricorn, born from December 22nd to January 19th. You were born under the 10th zodiacal sign, associated with one of the most respected and feared planets. That is the planet Saturn, symbolizing power, responsibility, eventual recognition. You see, Capricorn, you have an affinity with time. You understand it. You can cope with it. You can wait and win. Now, some say you're cold, but the fact is that you were born under a sign that can sizzle with sex, can be drenched with the coldness of desire. So cold, so very cold, that the need for warmth makes you draw love, makes you scratch and attack, makes you generally a rival with any sign where love and passion are concerned. Now, I try to explain this in one of my books, Astrology, Its Role in Your Life. I say you could be cold with desire. This is not a contradiction, not the way I mean it, Capricorn. Many persons can have love withdrawn and yet can find balance, can find a warmth in other endeavors. But with love withdrawn, with love absent, with love not yet discovered, there is for you no substitute, no replacement. You, in a very real sense, become cold with desire. You can become physically and emotionally ill with the absence of love, just as some persons can become cold and ill through lack of a proper attire or shelter during inclement weather. The inclement weather, where you are concerned, occurs in the absence of emotional fulfillment, through the absence of a member of the opposite sex. Now listen, Capricorn. At times you leave the impression of either being indifferent or completely physical. You change. Very often you do things or appear to do things merely for shock value, which means that what you do depends very often on what reaction you feel will be forthcoming. And the reaction you seek is not always approval. It could be shock, disapproval, surprise, or on the other side of the coin, complete approval. You can be chameleon-like, subject to change, apt to run hot and cold. You are capricious. Your likes and dislikes vary. You want to see how others will respond, how they will take you. All of this, as one might imagine, does lead to a variety of experiences, emotional ups and downs. Your emotions are powerful, seldom halfway, all the way or nothing. You stick, you suffer. You go down more than 3 times, and when it appears surely you are down and out, up you bob again. You haven't drowned, as many thought you had. Instead, you are up, leaving the water, walking away, snorting, butting, shaking off the side effects of yet another experience, perhaps bizarre, perhaps sad, maybe hilarious. Now listen, by now it should be apparent that your sign, the 10th, the top sign, on top of the horoscope, a cardinal sign having to do with occupation, career, leadership, profession, it is obvious that you are tough, resilient, capable of plodding to victory, of suffering, of carrying burdens, of being docile or pugnacious, whatever the need may be at the moment. And the so-called moment could be any length of time required for your project. And the project could be a book, a love affair, a lifetime. You are, Capricorn, metaphysically inclined because you are so closely aligned to time. Attuned to time might be a better way of putting it. Time for you has its own personality. Every moment of time is different. Each time is different. You're not easy to understand because you attempt to comprehend the universe. Often marital partners, loved ones, friends will rise up and shout, "How about understanding me, just me, plain little old me, instead of the world, the universe, everyone else? How about me?" And there is a point to that plea for Capricorn. Until you can bring about your perception, your powers to bear on the immediate, the real as opposed to the symbol, then you are losing much by without really partaking. Can't be truly happy unless you do partake, unless you participate, for, among other things, you are worldly. Saturn, your planetary significator, is both spiritual and worldly. It requires and demands discipline, but it also offers rewards. You are to live now, here on earth. You are earthy, practical, real enough to love, and yet your eyes look out to the future, the distance, the ideal, the utopia. And you are sure you will sail that journey one day, take that trip which brings you to a kind of personal Shangri-La. There are many celebrities born under your sign, including writer Henry Miller, Ava Gardner, Ray Milland, Marlene Dietrich, Oscar Levant, and Sandy Koufax. You are not afraid of work, but you rebel at any hint of becoming servile. You are practical in an almost terrifying sense, which means you can wait, be patient. You can eventually realize your goal despite obstacles, advice, cajoling, pleading. You make up your mind, set your sights, and it is almost impossible to stop you. Some of your key words are ambition, reserve, inward strength, aspiration, attainment, responsibility. And these words, though heady and almost symbolic rather than literal, do possess very real meaning for you. Capricorn is said to govern the joints, the bones, the sense of hearing, the knees, the body system. One of your health dangers is rheumatism and an inclination to overindulge where eating and drinking are concerned. You are sex conscious in that you regard sex as an important part of your life, part of your happiness, part of your ultimate fulfillment. On the negative side, you tend to think of sex as an end in itself. It is then that you are, as we say, taken, deceived, made unhappy, given a roller coaster ride in the sense that you are dizzy, confused. Sex, you discover when you respond on the positive side, is part of love, a very real part, but not all of it, not something separate or casual, but instead something warm, a part of life, a part of love, one part of the horoscope, one section, one department, and not the entire story, not the entire chart, not the complete wheel of the horoscope. Now listen, Capricorn. I have said you have an affinity with time. This is important because your ruling planet Saturn is connected with time and trials and tribulations. But no matter how many obstacles there are in your way, you make a decision, set a goal, and you overcome those obstacles. You see, Capricorn, you are an individual who has a feeling of destiny, of purpose. You feel you have a reason for being, an important one. Time becomes your ally. You can bide your time. You can wait. You can be patient and persistent. And this applies, among other things, to the opposite sex. Your fifth solar house, that section of the chart having to do with love, adventure, speculation, is Taurus. This means the ruling planet of your fifth house is Venus. And in turn, this indicates that your love habits are strong and necessary, as much a part of you as eating and sleeping and working. Some may not realize it, Capricorn, but you are a sensuous person. You are capable, to a great extent, of living on love. You can, as a matter of fact, do without food and sleep to a greater degree than you can do without love. And this provides us with a clue. You can use love as you do food. You often place the object of your affection second to the affection itself. You seem at times to be off in a world by yourself. It is not always easy for loved ones to communicate, to feel your presence, except in a physical sense. Now, of course, a highly developed Capricorn is aware of this and makes amends, corrects this fault, becomes present in more than a physical or sexual sense. I have pointed out that Capricorn women at times are accused of being materialistic, but more often than not, the charge is false. These women are concerned with the security of loved ones. They are aware of tomorrow as well as today. And, as I say, Capricorn people in general appear to have a link with the future. Capricorn men are eager to experience life, not merely to accept someone else's word about it. That's why the men of this sign are ambitious enough to struggle in the face of outrageous odds. They have tremendous faith in themselves, for it is a faith hammered and shaped through hard knocks, vision, and that link with destiny. Now you may be asking, Omarr, isn't that a bit dramatic? Well, Capricorn, you do possess a keen sense of drama. Life is a drama. Your life is a drama. You can take the blows, the setbacks, because you're sure you're going somewhere. And this is true no matter how at times you appear to wander in an endless circle. Those are times when you get a second wind, when you take stock, when you pull in your horns and prepare for another assault, when you know yet again that time is on your side and that eventually you will arrive at your goal, your destination, because, as I say, you do know there is a goal, a place to go, and that you're going to get there. You are, in a sense, vindicated by time. This, of course, is not to imply that you can sit by idly and wait. You must be aware of the right moment, aware that there will be a time for action as well as for patience. You are blessed in the sense that you appreciate that time heals wounds, that time matures, nourishes, turns the bitter into the sweet. Now, here are some secret hints for women about men born under Capricorn. The Capricorn man may start slowly, but you can bet he'll be around at the finish. He's earthy, possesses a keen sense of awareness, is human and warm, and can be depended upon to help the underdog and to fight for loved ones. Tact is important, ladies, in dealing with this man. He may sound brash, he may appear tough, but when it comes to women, he expects them to be tactful, loving, tender, and aware of his particular charms. Once you hook up with this man, you may find yourself hooked for good. He is more sensitive than you might at first suspect. He often laughs at himself, shrugs off sympathy, and gives the impression of being immune to pain. However, he is not only personally sensitive, but transfers this sense of feeling to others. He can look at you and at others and somehow discern when things are not right. This produces a dissipating effect. He tends to wear down, to worry more about others than himself. The first reaction is admiration for this man's apparent nobility. But if you are really interested in his welfare, you should encourage him to face his own problems. Don't let him seek an out, an excuse. Now, that is, he sometimes busies himself in helping others instead of getting down to the business of his own problems. Now, if you're interested in this man, make him face himself. Make him answer his own questions. And another important hint is this. Let him talk about himself and help him to help himself. Then you are almost sure of winning him. Now, let's reverse the coin. Let's turn to the other side. And this time we're talking about women. And this is for men only, about women born under Capricorn. This is an earthy woman, not necessarily demonstrative, but she is permanent in the sense that she will not run out on you. She may appear aloof, cold, disinterested, but the fire of passion runs through her veins, and she is a woman in the best sense. Now listen, men. Look for someone else if you want the frivolous, if you desire someone who can give you a line, so to speak. This woman, the Capricorn woman, has something special to offer if you are concerned with the future. But she's not for you if you are merely dabbling, experimenting, looking for an interlude. There are many things this woman is, but there is one thing she is not. She is not cold. She is warm, considerate, can rise to the height of passion. This surprises many because very often her exterior is cold, or at least it appears cold. She is earthy in temperament, She is basically independent, original in her thinking, and can break from tradition as quickly as some persons drink a cup of coffee that's not too hot. She respects time and tradition in one sense, but believes in creating her own rhythm, her own time, her own tradition. Now listen, men, you'd better take a second look at that quiet-appearing Capricorn lady. She may appear cool, but she's smoldering on the inside. There is energy and warmth here. This woman can perceive your character. She can know you and love you and be loyal to you. But she does expect you to be a man. She also has a tendency to be curious about the bank account. This is because she is aware of the future, is concerned about tomorrow as well as today. Well, there you have it. Special hints for women about Capricorn men and for men about Capricorn women. Now listen, Capricorn. You require faith. Otherwise you drift. You need love. Otherwise you turn to lust. You need an awareness of time. Otherwise you are aimless. You need responsibility. Otherwise you lose that precious instinct of personal destiny. Your needs are many and subtle. You are not ordinary in any sense. And often you travel the full circle, returning to the past, to persons, triumphs, defeats. The song sings, your ears attuned. The song leads you to the rocks of despair, or out to the open sea to freedom. Now listen, the worst is not likely to occur. You can approach the brink, but somehow there is always a way out. Don't cross bridges before you get to them. Avoid being negative. Avoid a tendency to worry and brood. Put a saline solution on your problems, then they vanish. But if you start sinking in them, you're sunk. Family harmony, Capricorn, especially early in life, often is a stranger to you. Yet you are needed, depended upon, even if as a whipping boy. But if the truth be known, you would rather serve than be served. You can be disappointed, poor, a temporary failure. But your time arrives and you are elated, rich, a success. In love, Capricorn, give and receive. Throw off the character armor. Your greatest gift is yourself. When you give of yourself, there is no ridicule. Instead, there is appreciation. You are controversial, but also appreciated. You are many things to many persons, but Capricorn, you're never ignored. Capricorn, you wouldn't have it any other way. The numbers associated with your sign are 8, 2, and 9. Your gem is the moonstone, your color is green, and your metal is lead. About you, Capricorn, born from December 22nd to January 19th, and how you relate to the other signs of the zodiac. Capricorn is favorably aspected to Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus, and Virgo. It is said to be unfavorably aspected to Aries, Libra, and Cancer. Your sign is regarded as neutral in relation to Sagittarius, Aquarius, Gemini, and Leo. In relation to another Capricorn, the combination could be difficult because each Capricorn attempts to explain, analyze, and finally, the explaining and the analyzing tends to become a substitute for action and for real faith. With Aries, you deal in practical matters. Aries is great for combining with you in real estate and property matters. Aries touches that part of your solar horoscope connected with home, projects which affect your future security. Aries opens up to you, talks to you. But you can count on Aries in the future rather than immediately. Now, that is, if you're seeking long-range results, Capricorn, Aries is your person. But not so if you are seeking the immediate, if you are seeking quick or so-called flash results. Aries is the future, and for you, the relationship is serious. Listen, Capricorn, don't think you can dabble or experiment with Aries. The relationship is apt to prove lasting for real, solid and not tinsel, responsible and not superficial. You can make money with Aries. You can successfully invest with Aries. You could marry Aries because Aries awakens in you a desire for home, family, property, land, something solid upon which to rest. That's how Aries affects Capricorn. Now listen, it is an interesting combination. Your Saturn and the Mars of Aries, fire and earth, action and depth. You inspire Aries to great heights. You awaken ambition in Aries. For you, Aries is an anchor in the best sense, something to look forward to, the future as warm instead of terrifying. There is attraction here, and there are problems. Both of you, both Capricorn and Aries, both of you learn as a result of this relationship. So Capricorn, it's up to you. Go to it. You've got a lot to learn, as we all have, and with Aries, you do learn. With Taurus, there are creative forces which are activated. There is change, travel, variety, the spark of physical attraction. The two signs are harmonious, and the relationship could be very beneficial. Now listen, Capricorn. With Taurus, you are aware of romance, of popularity, of personal magnetism, of creative resources. You come to life with Taurus. You want to communicate, and Taurus helps you break the ground, break through red tape, helps you shake off lethargy. Taurus affects that part of your solar horoscope associated with love, romance, children, creative endeavors, personal magnetism. Taurus encourages you, gives you a new lease on life. The combination of Taurus and Capricorn is favorable. You are attracted to Taurus, but Taurus coincides with restlessness and creates unhappiness if you insist on maintaining the status quo. Taurus, where you are concerned, is variety. Taurus represents self-evaluation. Taurus, for you, symbolizes your potential, your creative urge. Now, I would say to you, Capricorn, that a little Taurus the bull in your life would be favorable, and then the rest is up to you. With Gemini, you begin to think about basic tasks, about jobs, about details. Gemini makes you aware of work and health, and Gemini could get you involved with relatives you've neglected or haven't seen for some time. Gemini, although restless, has a different kind of effect upon you. With Gemini, you're capable of settling down, of finishing, of breaking through red tape, of checking the fine print, and of reading between the lines. Perhaps this is because Gemini is such a contrast, so dynamic, that you are intrigued, willing to work with Gemini, and to handle the details while Gemini flits here, there, and everywhere. That may be the case. Gemini teaches Capricorn to appreciate, to realize the value of special services. Capricorn could teach Gemini the value of money. Capricorn and Gemini have something to teach, to contribute to each other. Such a relationship between Gemini and Capricorn is apt to begin suddenly and to end suddenly. In between, much of the association could be routine, indeed could be a kind of tonic for Capricorn, but the beginning and the end appear to be dramatic, sudden. What I would say to you, Capricorn, is make the most of it while it lasts, and perhaps, with this attitude, it could go on lasting. Your Saturn and the Mercury of Gemini could combine to come up with long-range ideas, time-saving methods, could result in basic services all of us require. There's nothing wrong with giving it a try. So go ahead, Capricorn. Now, in connection with Cancer, the emphasis is on marriage, public relations, partnerships, legal affairs. You are attracted to Cancer, but much in the manner that opposites attract opposites. Now listen, Capricorn. Where persons born under Cancer are concerned, you are encouraged to enter new areas. You express greater independence. You bring forth original and creative methods. Your Saturn and the Cancer moon spell out intensity of purpose. You are apt to kick over the traces, to begin anew. Cancer touches that part of your solar horoscope which makes you aware of the public, of public relations. Cancer brings publicity, recognition for your efforts. Cancer, as we say, also affects that section of your chart related to marriage. You could be permanently tied, connected to Cancer. There is a part of you reflected in Cancer, just as a part of Cancer is reflected in your sign, Capricorn. As I say, Capricorn and Cancer are signs in opposition to each other, but along with the opposition, there is definite attraction. If you want to come out of your shell, if you want to advertise and publicize, well then listen, you found the right person in Cancer. Now with Leo, there is a combination of your Saturn and the Leo Sun. It adds up to greater recognition through an intensified campaign of work and service. Leo causes you to get going, to expand your base of operations. Leo touches that part of your chart related to money or a mate or a partner, to the occult, to the hidden. Leo spurs your interest in unusual subjects. Leo helps you bring the unknown closer. It may not always be easy for you to understand Leo, but you almost always will be intrigued. In connection with Leo, you dig deep, you want to know why. You're not likely to be satisfied with general or superficial answers. Now listen, Capricorn. Leo tends to grow on you. Leo sparks you into action. Leo makes you aware of secrets, of other ways of life. Leo initiates you into mysteries, and Leo hurts and heals you. This may sound very tense and forbidding, Capricorn, but actually Leo can help you, and you can help Leo see the practical side of life. It works this way. Leo is a mystery and intrigue where you are concerned. To Leo, you are basic comfort and the facts of life. You can hurt and help each other, depending upon circumstances and the maturity you each have attained. For finishing a project, for the final drive, the push and the kick, Leo is the person for you. Just how far this relationship goes depends, Capricorn, on how willing you are to enter into the sometimes bizarre activities of Leo. In connection with Virgo, there is excitement, change, creativity, physical attraction, friendship, greater social activity. Virgo persons activate you where writing and publishing are concerned, encourage your sense of adventure, bring you out of yourself, and often are associated with you in connection with long journeys. Virgo and Capricorn are favorably aspected. There is mutual attraction. Virgo inspires you to study, to read, to travel, to accumulate knowledge, and to utilize the knowledge you already possess. Virgo represents that section of your chart having to do with understanding through higher knowledge. Virgo is, to you, a spur for thorough rather than superficial application. The two signs are compatible, as we say, favorably aspected, and the key here is knowledge and information. You gain from each other in the sense that there is a creative urge evident, in the sense that there is a climbing, a moving toward higher goals. Virgo encourages you to study, to evaluate your position. In effect, you inspire Virgo to inspire you. Now this could be tiring, but also profitable. My decision is this, Capricorn. Go ahead, encourage Virgo, and be encouraged. This could be a winning combination. Libra persons are found in your life in connection with career, ambitions, aspirations. Very beneficial where occupational matters are concerned. There could be problems, however, in romantic areas. There is a tendency for this relationship, Capricorn and Libra, to bog down to a work routine. The first spark, your Saturn and the Libra Venus, well, it might hardly be called an attraction, but could slowly build to a peak and then slowly let down. If Libra and Capricorn work together, have the same mutual interests, the relationship has a better chance of lasting. You see, your Saturn has a pull on Libra, and the two of you could separate only to come back together, to separate and once again to get back to each other. It is said that nothing worthwhile is easy. Certainly your association with Libra could not be described as easy. Thus, it might be worthwhile if this line of reasoning is to be carried through to fulfillment. Libra helps you to settle down, to sight your goal, to achieve it. Libra is there during times of emergency, but Libra could also create some emergencies. There is mutual sympathy here, understanding. If you can keep the excitement going, the spark of mutual discovery, then this becomes a valuable, rewarding association. Otherwise, I'm afraid it will deteriorate into something cold and impersonal. Astrology provides the trends, the indications. The rest, Capricorn, is up to you. Many of your friends were born under Scorpio. With Scorpio, you tend to be impetuous. There are sudden decisions, perhaps even the decision to run off and get married. The Pluto of Scorpio combined with your Saturn has a kind of spreading out effect, of being many places, of socializing, of breaking up past patterns and starting over again. The two signs, Capricorn and Scorpio, are favorably aspected, and there is mutual attraction. But in the main, Scorpio spurs you toward the superficial, toward parties, dining out, attending the theater. Also, however, Scorpio can be good for your creative resources, causing you to take steps toward fulfilling hopes and wishes. The difficulty is that some of these desires may be impractical. Unless a dream does have a logical way of being attained, revise it. If nothing else, Capricorn, you are realistic. And if you can find a logical way of attaining goals, no matter how far off or how far out, then you will move ahead. But if a dream, a desire, a goal does not have logic behind it, you are almost defeated before you begin. Now listen, Capricorn. Your social life improves with Scorpio because you want to impress Scorpio. Some of your creative urges, which had been lying dormant, are revitalized with Scorpio. An association with Scorpio is not apt to be static. You are here and there, trying new foods, new experiments. You are on the go, and for a time this gets you out of yourself and halts any tendency to brood over the past. Now, I would say this is a favorable combination, all things considered, Capricorn and Scorpio. Sagittarians are apt to appear strange in your eyes. You look up to Sagittarius, but feel you cannot make a direct approach. You deal mainly with Sagittarius in an indirect manner, in that you are not frank or giving. You have a shell surrounding you, and as much as you would like to remove it, it remains when you are associated with Sagittarius. This is because Sagittarius affects that part of your solar horoscope connected with the hidden, with behind-the-scenes activity. Sagittarius encourages you to join organizations, clubs, groups. With Sagittarius, you become engaged in a cause, a mission. There is added direction to your life. The Jupiter of Sagittarius is a wonderful adjunct to your Saturn, provides greater social consciousness in the sense that you take steps to improve the lives of those around you and in so doing to improve your own life. You aid Sagittarius in practical activities, in appreciating the value of money. In turn, Sagittarius teaches you, in a sense, how to better utilize your talents, your assets. That is, with Sagittarius, you become concerned and active in specific charities. There is an overall, more than a personal benefit in this relationship. You gain by teaching. You share, derive understanding, greater sensitivity. You learn lessons and become aware of your personal surroundings, of the world around you. That's what an association with Sagittarius could lead to for you. Aquarius individuals spur you to commercial activity, to earning funds, to collecting, to finding genuine bargains, to accumulating valuables. The Uranus planetary significator of Aquarius, combined with your Saturn, brings about a tendency toward experimentation. Aquarius touches that part of your chart having to do with money, personal possessions, and the ability to add to income. Aquarius encourages you to experiment. On the positive side or creative level, this is beneficial. On the negative side, you spread your forces, waste time and money, to say nothing of emotions. It is necessary for you, in relation to Aquarius, to control funds, to keep the reins tight, to investigate without becoming involved. Now listen, Capricorn, the key here is to avoid confusion, to know what you are doing, where you are headed, to maintain a sense of poise, balance, and direction. With Aquarius, this is of great importance, for if Aquarius takes over, you could take a financial bath, a plunge. But if you are in control, the imagination, the daring of Aquarius could work to your definite advantage. Aquarius is your next-door zodiacal neighbor, but there is a vast difference between the two signs. Perhaps this very difference serves as a healthy challenge and attraction. Pisces delights and intrigues you, but could tire you and cause a scattering of forces. Pisces provides an element of romance, but could also cause actions that are anything but practical. Pisces stimulates you mentally, but could also cause flights of fancy. Pisces is favorably aspected to your sign, Aquarius, but the link, your Saturn and the Pisces Neptune, may not be solid. If this relationship is to be lasting, you'll have to work, to be serious, to go all out. Otherwise, incentive is lacking, and the Capricorn-Pisces association, while pleasant, could fade away. Know this and act accordingly. Pisces affects that part of your chart associated with ideas, short journeys, relatives, bursts of inspiration rather than long-range projects. Pisces stimulates your sense of humor, gets rid of some of the heaviness, the lethargy symbolized by Saturn. Pisces can help you see the lighter side of life. Pisces, as a matter of fact, could be a delightfully refreshing experience for you. Pisces is especially good for short-range projects, for outlining ideas, for preparing special presentations to advertising agencies, for getting formats in working order. Now listen, Capricorn, the fact of the matter is, you can't go too far wrong with Pisces.